Hey guys, it's Olivia and I'm back with another video. So, you guys have read the title. Apparently, TikTok has stories now. So, I found out about this a week ago from when this is going to be posted. So, this is going to be posted on August 16th, and I found out about this on August 9th. I haven't used the stories feature yet, and that's what I'm going to do in this week's video. But before we get into the video, be sure to subscribe to my channel because I'm making videos every Monday. I make anywhere from TikTok videos like this to Uber Eats driver videos to how to make money online videos. And with all that being said, let's get into this week's video. So now here's a screen recording of my phone, and as you can see, I'm on Instagram. So if I just go to my story archives real quick, if I scroll to August 9th, you can see this story. I put on my story at TikTok has stories now, eye roll emoji. These social media platforms really need to start coming up with original ideas. And then I said, and yes, I see the irony of me posting this on my Instagram story, considering Instagram is the original copycat. So we all know that Snapchat had stories first, then Instagram had it, which then made Facebook also integrate a stories feature because Instagram and Facebook are both owned by the same person. And then YouTube has stories, but only for like creators with over 10,000 followers or something like that. And recently, Twitter had Fleets, which I'll give them kudos for coming up with an original name, but it was not an original concept. Like everyone else was calling it stories, at least Twitter called it something else. But then now they got rid of it because no one wanted to use it. Like you're like the fourth person to have this original idea. So obviously no one's going to use it because everyone's already posting their stories somewhere else. And now who has stories? TikTok. So let's go over to TikTok real quick. So now we're in TikTok. I'm just on my profile, and as you can see, if you look at my profile photo, there's this blue plus. So if I click that, it brings me here, and this is where I could film a story. If I click the X real quick, if I go to my home, and in the top left corner, you'll see a camera, and if I click that, it also brings me to the stories. So now let me make my first story. Hey guys, what's up? This is my first ever TikTok story. Apparently TikTok has stories now. So let me know where you guys see this. Do you see this on your For You page? Comment down below what country you're from because apparently this is only available in non-US countries. Okay, so I've just filmed my story. There's different options on the side. Like when you're posting a regular TikTok, you have different effects. You can add music. You can add text and all that stuff, but I'm just gonna share this to my story. And so now, as you can see, on the home page, there's this story section on the left. So if I go to my profile, now there is a ring around my picture like how there is with Instagram. And then if I go to home and I click the story button on the side, I can create my own story, or if other people I'm following had posted stories, they would also show up on the side. So now while I wait for my story to get some views, I just want to think aloud for a bit. The first thing I'm thinking is TikTok stories are only available in non-US countries. 37% of my followers are from the US. And yes, that means that 63% of them are not, which means 63% of my followers could see this story. But it's just, since that is the biggest percentage on my graph, and those are probably my most active followers and this, that, and the other, then my most active followers aren't even going to be able to see my story. So is my story going to flop? The second thing I'm thinking is one place your stories can show up is on the home page on the left, like I just showed you. But another place your stories can show up is on your For You page. So I'm just wondering if when a story shows up on your For You page, will you know it's a story and not a main post? Because the thing about stories is that's typically where you post less polished videos. For example, on Instagram, a picture you would post to your story is not necessarily the type of picture you would post to your grid. And that's why it got posted to your story. Like, you're just like out with your friends, you take a blurry selfie, and then you post it to your Insta story. You don't post that on your grid, right? So I feel like the same goes for TikTok. For example, on TikTok, I make transition videos, and those videos can take me anywhere from half an hour to 3 hours to film, depending on how long it is, how intricate it is, blah, 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 right? So those videos are a lot more polished and take me a lot more time and are a lot better than the story that you just saw me post, right? However, if this story shows up on the For You page and there's not like something saying this is a story, then someone who is seeing me for the first time might think that those are the types of videos I post when it's not. And like, obviously in this very first story, I said, this is a story in the video. So obviously someone will know even if TikTok doesn't tell them directly. But for future stories, if I continue to post them, is there going to be some sort of indication? That's what I want to know. So if I click my profile photo right now, this says posted this story. So I assume that that will show up for other people as well, even if they don't view it from my profile. Like, if they view it from the For You page, I really hope that this little bubble at the bottom shows up. So now I can see that I have 3 views on my story, and I don't have any likes or comments or anything. Stories last for 24 hours. I am filming this at 6:46 on August the 15th, and this is supposed to go up at noon on the 16th. So this story won't have been up for a full 24 hours by the time this video is posted. But I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and see how many views I have, likes, comments, whatever, to my story to see if TikTok stories are really worth it. So that's all for this portion of the video, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so it is the next morning. It is 10:22 a.m. If I look tired, it's because I just woke up. Anyways, so if we open TikTok, if I click on my story, you can see that I have 13 likes and 6 comments, and you can see that the likes and comments kind of scroll up from the bottom left corner. So if I click the comments, I can see what people have commented. So one person said that they're from Canada and they saw it on the For You page. So then I asked them if there's any indication that it's specifically a story and not a regular post. And someone else replied saying that it says story near my username. And then I thanked the person for letting me know. And then another person commented saying that they were also from Canada. So then if I go over to my likes, I can see everyone who liked it, and basically if it says follow beside their name, it means they don't follow me, and if it says follow back, it means that person does follow me. So at first it was only my followers that were seeing this story and liking it, but I do have a fair few people who aren't following me who saw this story. So you do get some reach from stories. So it's been about 16 hours since I posted this story, and it has 138 views, 13 likes, and 6 comments, 3 of which are me replying. So yeah, that's the update on my first TikTok story. One thing I do want to show, something that I did quickly, was I signed into another TikTok I have. It's kind of just a throwaway account. I don't really use it. But if I go to that account and I search for my main account and I watch my story, then it's as the person said. It says story right above my username. So it shows up like that when I click the profile photo, but it will also show up when viewed on the For You page. So people will be able to tell the difference between a regular post and a story. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I posted my first TikTok story, and I think it went decently well. Do I think that TikTok is going to become my go-to place to post stories? No, but will I probably repost my Instagram stories to TikTok for as long as this feature exists, which, if I'm being honest, I don't think it's going to be a long time. But will I be reposting my Insta stories? Possibly, I suppose. Every week when I post a YouTube video, I post a snippet to my Insta story, and I might do that as well on TikTok, because you can post links to videos and websites on TikTok. So I might post a snippet of this video on my story and say link in bio. So I think there's uses for it, but I don't think it's going to replace a different platform that you already post stories on. So that's all for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you think your friends will enjoy it, be sure to share it with them. All my social media links will be down below in case you want to follow me on there. Be sure to subscribe to my channel because I make new videos every Monday, and I'll see you next Monday with a new video.